So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have always been more of a simple guy. I used to do stuff like reading books, exercising in a park, watching anime, playing games, and some people would say I don't have a life, but I don't care. I was happy doing whatever I was doing. But then I started going to the college. There were groups of popular guys and girls. They would do things like clubbing, drinking, going to trips, dating, having love affairs, and all this stuff. They would join some college clubs and committees. They would lead these committees. They would give speeches. They would organize some huge events. They would bring some huge singers for these events. And I could never even dream of doing any of that. It was like these people and I, we live in a completely different world. Even talking to these people made me kind of nervous because these people have a life, but I don't. Logically, I knew that these people are students just like me, but I still couldn't help but feel like these people are so much better than I am. Now, fast forward to the end of my college life. I started experiencing some of these things. I went on a trip, I went to some fancy restaurants, and most difficult of all, I started facing cameras and I started making YouTube videos. It was probably the biggest fear I had, making videos with my face in it and having some random strangers judge me. I was slowly overcoming my shyness, and after my college ended, I got my first job. And in that job, I became a social butterfly. I started talking to all the people there, starting from the most extroverted people I used to idolize to the most introverted, shy people like me. I talked to everyone. In less than 3 months, I talked to around 200 new people, and I realized two things. But before talking about that, I also do coaching course on how to improve your personality, how to become a better, healthier human being. So if you want to know more about that, check the description. So back to the topic, I realized two things. First, these people are not very different compared to me. I have seen them getting nervous, getting awkward, saying something cringe. I got to see their insecure side, and I realized that most of the life is just as boring as my life. I am only noticing these things now because I'm spending more time with these people. And what a surprise, they are normal humans just like me. And even though I logically knew this stuff before talking to them, my brain now psychologically understands it. My brain stopped idolizing these people. And two, I realized that social media fucks up your perception a lot. So people only post the best part of their life on social media. So for example, if someone goes to a trip, you only see their happy faces at beautiful places. You don't see the boring parts, the struggle of traveling, the aftermath of getting tired or even getting sick. Even though you logically know that when you go to a trip, this stuff is going to happen. But psychologically, your brain only sees the best part of the trip and assumes that the boring parts don't exist. When I go to a trip, it is nothing special or out of this world. It is basically traveling to some fancy places, taking some nice photos, and having some nice memories. If someone saw my photos on a trip and they got jealous, I would call that person crazy. Because I have a more realistic experience of what the trip was like. The struggle of traveling, getting sick, the aftermath, the boring parts, I know this stuff. But Instagram photos don't cover that. But if I see someone else on a trip, I feel like I'm wasting my life. I start putting these people on pedestal again. You can say that it is just you being insecure, but that is not the case. It is normal to experience these things. There are studies showing how scrolling on Instagram can negatively affect your mental health. It can make you more insecure. The reason is because the way social media, Instagram portrays anything, it is fake. The smiles of the people you see, most of them are fake. The food, it is fake. I recently went to an expensive fancy restaurant, perfect for someone who loves Instagram. And the food there was looking amazing. In terms of taste, it was pretty good. But in terms of health, it was not even real food. It was some processed garbage made with some chemicals. It was fake food. Most people don't even know it because people who go to these restaurants are young people. And young people don't care that much about their health. And the biggest lie of all is looks. So let me show you my biceps. It is pretty average, I guess, nothing special. But using some techniques, I can make my arms go from this to this. And this is true for every muscle. You can use pump, things like shadows, lighting conditions, camera quality. Then there are things like editing, Photoshop, artificial intelligence that can make people look much more attractive than they are. Not to mention the photos you see online. It is one of the hundreds of photos a person has taken. You only see the best photo. All the other photos are hidden. Now again, logically, you know this stuff, but psychologically, your brain doesn't think that far. You only see a couple of good photos and your brain starts creating some assumptions about that person. It is like everyone is in this rat race of proving how interesting their life is. And because of this, your brain sets some unrealistic standards for what is normal. Even if you are living a happy life, your brain will subconsciously feel like your life is not as good as the life of people around you. When I got my new job and I started being more social there, I had no Instagram account. And because of this, I had no idea of the personal lives of these people. I had no idea who is social, who is not, their backgrounds. I knew nothing about them. And that not only made it much more easier for me to approach these people, I also felt more comfortable talking to them. I wasn't feeling nervous around them. A lot of times I would talk to these social people, have a nice conversation with them, and the next time they see me, they will happily come and talk to me on their own. If you want to know how to become more attractive using psychology without changing anything about your looks, check out this video. Check the description for the link of my coaching calls. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.